Hey team, it's Ashley. I was sitting here at Starbucks and I had a thought. I always have my best thoughts whenever I'm drinking coffee. So had a thought today, and that is simply this. So many of you that got started with this business, you may not have had a network, okay? So you watch these people that are moving quickly, that are signing up distributors, that are promoting fast, and it's so easy to get discouraged. But what you forget is that a lot of these people had a network before they began. I know when I began, I had a list. I had tons of people that I was able to call upon. Because I was in a business and because I had a business before I began It Works, I had people that knew me and trusted my business sense. So when I said, let's do this, they jumped in. There wasn't a lot of convincing that had to be done with a lot of people, okay? What I am realizing and what I have learned, I thought that that's how everybody was. And what I'm learning is that not everybody has the same network when they begin. Not everybody has the same skill sets when they begin. And so for those of you that are beginning and people aren't just jumping the minute you say, hey, I'm selling skinny wraps, I want you to think about the fact that that means you're going to have to build a business. Because here's what I realized today, and I hope I am tying this in correctly, but I've got a lot of thoughts running through my head. When I began my business, I was 22 years old. I had no network, okay? I had some friends and I had some family. But I opened a women's intimate store for brides, all right? That was my initial idea and who I was reaching. And so I had to build a network. I remember I had to join the bridal show. I had to join the Bridal Service Associates here in Lubbock to get my name out with other wedding vendors. I had to hit the streets. I had to pass out business cards and let people know what I was doing and where I was at. I had to ask for referrals. We didn't even have social media then. And so I think about the fact that I had to start from the ground up to build my business. So it makes sense now that for those of you that maybe have never been in business or don't have that same network, that you would have to go out and do the exact same thing that I did 8 years ago to build my business. You're going to have to ask for referrals. You're going to have to talk to friends and family. You might have to do an expo or a show or go to the local gym and set up a table and start meeting people and letting them know what you do. What I realized is that most people would never start a business, a brick and mortar store, right? And then give up on it in 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 6 months or even a year. What do they tell you in business? When you start in business, they say, give it 5 years. You probably will not turn a profit for 5 years. Everybody I ever loved and trusted in my life that was involved in business told me that exact thing. Ashley, do not expect to make money for 5, maybe even 6 years. And you know what? I didn't expect to make money. And you know what? I didn't make any money for 5 to 6 years. It took me a while to build that network and to build that trust and to build a customer base and have people coming back to me. But then it started paying, and then it built up to enough where I was able to sell my store last year and there was enough worth in it that someone wanted to buy it. And so it's the exact same thing with your It Works business, only you can do it on an even faster timeline. You don't have to wait 5 or 6 years to begin making money, but you do have to put the time and effort in to build a network if you didn't have one previously. So I hope that makes sense. Just a couple of thoughts that were running through my head while I was sitting there. I've got some people that are discouraged and that are out there blitzing and out there talking. And what I'm realizing is, your cold market is so, they call it your cold market for a reason. It's going to be tougher. It's going to be harder to break through it, right? Because you don't know these people. They haven't built a rapport and a trust with you. So as you're building that, as they keep seeing you, out in town, as you keep going back to those same businesses and dropping off cards and keep following up with the same people, they're going to see that you're serious and you're going to start building a network. But for some of you, it's going to take a little more time. So my question to you is, are you willing to put in the time, the work, and the effort to build a business? That's what you're building with this. And what I want so many of you to realize is that you are building something over the next couple of years that could literally change your entire life and pay you out for years and years and years to come. But what makes me so sad is when people, for the first 2 or 3 months, don't see that big influx and then they're ready to give up. And so I would just encourage you to think of it that way. If you don't have that network that just jumped on board immediately, you're building a business. It's going to take time. So are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to put in the effort? I did 8 years ago, and yes, it made my journey a little bit easier whenever I began. I still worked my tail off, but I realized I had a well to draw from. If you don't have that well to draw from, you've got to start filling up that well. And the way you do it is by talking about this business, talking about these products. Continue to do it. It will pay off. I promise you. The only people that fail in this business are the ones that quit. Anybody I have that's been in this business for a year, 2 years, that continues to push and continues to grow is making a paycheck every month. I promise you that. So you've got to just hang in there. Okay. Hope you have a good day. Keep pushing for diamond. I'm so excited for the end of the month. Bye.